as we mentioned right before the break, Impact Wrestling just absolutely slamming it, especially in and around Slammiversary, the fantastic event they had. Seeing a lot of new faces to Impact Wrestling. Two of those faces join me now on the Vaqueros Cafe and Cantina hotline. Two guys that have made their way around the world. Former IWGP Tag Team Champions, former Raw Tag Team Champions, and now they're set to set the Impact Wrestling Tag Team division ablaze. They are the Good Brothers, Karl Anderson and Luke Gallows. Follow them on Twitter at the_Big LG and Machine Gun KA. Fellas, how are you? How are your families? How's everything going during this crazy time?
Man, we are great. We're stoked for all the buzz around Impact Wrestling. We're stoked for Talk'n-Shop-A-Mania this Saturday night. And I think we're both pretty fortunate that our families are doing well so far throughout this pandemic. We're like everybody else, just hoping it comes to an end soon and we can entertain a live audience again.
Yeah, family's good, man. It's we're excited. We're just excited with our new venture in our life, man.
Man, that's good to hear. I know it was. I tell you what, that Saturday morning, Friday night, Saturday morning, right before with Slammiversary, right there at midnight when you debuted that video with you guys standing in the ring in the Impact Zone. That was such a huge, huge moment. A lot of buzz, a lot of great reaction. How much pride do you take in the fact that you had such a positive reaction to that debut?
It was great, man. You know, we were putting together our countdown to Fuckdown thing, and we knew we were going to announce our pay-per-view, that we were going to, you know, self-fund and all that stuff. And then Impact was coming at us hard. They've been coming at us hard all the way back to September. So we thought that was a great announcement. I thought they handled it well with us going out there at midnight and giving us the opportunity to do that. And the buzz was amazing. You know, that was, I think, their highest rated tweet analytically in the history of the Impact brand. So we're very proud of that. And I think it proves that we can draw, which we've always said it. So I'm glad that people know it now.
Look, I want to get your impression on social media as it relates to wrestling. We know all the negativities, but it also has the benefits. Talk for a second about that.
Yeah, there's a huge benefit to it. Carl's actually better at it than I am. I didn't start really participating the way that I should have until, April 15th hit. But just it's been tremendous for us as far as gaining buzz about what we're going to do next, as far as, you know, going into our pay-per-view and my Sex Ferguson character and all of that, because I don't like to go on and harp on the negative. You know, wrestling is supposed to be fun. It's supposed to get people excited. And I think if you can use your social media as a vehicle to do that, then that's pretty damn cool.
You know, Luke, if I didn't know better, I think you were listening to us a time or two, because I keep preaching that. Wrestling is supposed to be fun, supposed to be positive.
Thank you.
I could not agree more with that. That is fantastic. Talking with Gallows and Anderson here on Sports Guys Talking Wrestling. Let me ask you this. As you're getting into Impact, of course, you're in you got the tag team division going. Is there a certain tag team that you're just chomping at the bit to work with? Is there a tag team maybe outside of Impact that you'd love to see in the Impact ring there?
You know, we were excited to because you hear so much stuff about the North, right? And I remember we were in the WWE, and I saw a ranking one time that was saying the North was like a top 5 team. And I clearly remember this. I came up to Gallows and I said, "Who in the hell is the North?" And he pointed it out to me, and he told me they were an Impact, because we don't watch a whole lot of wrestling when we were in that WWE bubble. And when I got a chance to start following these guys and then meet them and then watch them work with the Motor City Machine Gun, they're a team that are good, that maybe haven't had a chance to be put on that big platform yet and be seen by as many eyes as should be seen. So I want to get in there with the North and the Motor City Machine Guns, obviously, because they're a legendary tag team that go way back. And there's a lot of young teams that might be on the independent circuit that we look forward to, you know, if they want to try and come into Impact. We want Impact to grow. We want Impact to be as big as everybody else. And so we want all the good young teams to come.
Absolutely. I think they are, and I think they've got all the parts there. It's and they're just Impact is doing such a great job. Let me ask you, Luke, going back through the history of Gallows and Anderson, whether it's Bullet Club or wherever, what is your favorite tag team to work with that you've worked with before? The team that you knew that you four guys could get in the ring, make all sorts of money, and have a hell of a match.
Man, I think during the WWE run, we really loved working with the Usos. We had a lot of fun with them. They're obviously smooth as hell. They're naturals in there, like all the good Samoan brothers are. So I always look forward to matches with those guys. Good.
That's good to hear. The Usos, trained just down the road in Houston with Booker T at Reality Wrestling. So yep. I understand that Absolutely. All too well. So I've got to ask this. You guys are ones that enjoy a good cold one every now and again. Each of you got to tell me your favorite beer, or if you prefer liquor, give me your favorite liquor.
You want to go first on that one?
Yeah. So I've grown a little bit and I've changed a little bit. I went from probably if I had a choice, I would always just go with a Bud Light Lime because I love throwing a lime in a beer. Okay. But I've changed to a little bit. If I have one beer for anything right now, and Gallows might not even know this because I don't drink beer as often as I used to, but I would love a Guinness. And wow, if I get a chance to sip on a Guinness, please give me one of those. But basically, I've changed to red wine because my wife likes to drink red wine with me, and it keeps my body nice and tight, Daddy.
Okay, I like red wine. Luke, how about you?
Well, this is going to sound like a shameless plug, but I was filming some Sex Ferguson videos the day before yesterday, so I cracked one and opened it, even though our labeling's not finished yet. The new Talk'n-Shop beer is pretty much exactly what we both like, a light-tasting beer with a hint of citrus, so I'm very excited for that to come out. And then my famous or infamous favorite drink on the road with the boys when I'm really feeling like having a good time is the Big LG High Boot Cocktail. A High Boot Cocktail, if you please, is a lot of vodka, diet anything, and a squeeze of citrus.
All right. I like that. A lot of vodka, diet anything, and a squeeze of citrus. I'm going to try that. in
High
a couple
Boot Cocktail,
nights.
Good brother.
Okay.
Be careful with it, though. That thing hits you quick, brother.
Believe me,
dangerous, man.
I understand completely. I went through Russian language school, so believe me, I've had my share of vodka. Talking with Luke Gallows and Karl Anderson, Machine Gun KA, and _Big LG on Twitter. All right. So explain to me Talk'n-Shop-A-Mania. I know it comes out of the podcast, so talk about your podcast first, and then tell me what inspired this event that we're going to see on pay-per-view on Saturday. We'll start with you, Karl.
Well, Talk'n-Shop-A-Mania comes from, like you said, it's based on our podcast, which is called Talk'n-Shop, and you can find it on any podcast platform. It's TALKNSHOP, and that was formed on us when we were in Japan and on the road all the time, and we would always go up into the hotel rooms and we'd have a beer or some wine, and we would sit and talk anyway. And we thought that, man, this would be a great podcast because we always sit and talk about the wrestling business or about life. And we realized we're always laughing our asses off. And then we made it a podcast and ended up becoming a little like underground cult favorite before we went to the WWE. And right after we got released, we decided to pop it back open again. And it reached numbers we didn't think were even possible at first. Then we realized we had a hell of a fan base that were listening to us and following us. And then the day we left the WWE, Gallows called us, and I'll let him explain his insane mind because this is all his brainchild. And he decided to throw it. He said, guys, I'm throwing it on a pay-per-view, and it's going to be in the backyard, and it's going to be based on Talk'n-Shop.
All right, Luke.
Talk'n-Shop-A-Mania.
All right, Luke, tell us about it.
Yeah. Well, to preface it, I'll just say this, and I've said this a lot. We are we're in the middle of a pandemic. There's social unrest across the country, and back to what you and I were just discussing, wrestling's supposed to be fun. You come out of, co-main eventing WrestleMania, a part of the match with The Undertaker and AJ Styles, the legendary cinematic Boneyard match, and then we're walking away 11, 12 days later, and I just said, the sense of humor that we have and the brand of humor that Talk'n-Shop is, if we don't, in a loving way, it's not meant to be derogatory, don't take it that way, spoof this, we're missing a huge opportunity. So why wouldn't Sex Ferguson and Chad Too Bad settle their differences after a 35-year partnership, not in a boneyard, but in a boner yard match? And that's how this all came to fruition. And then I sat down and I started writing things that I thought played into our sense of humor, and I sent it to the boys. They started marking up what I had written. Then we really started having some fun with it. I mean, we got a social distancing battle royal, a briefcase and a tree match. We got a tribute to the 90s, which we grew up loving. Lots of cool, fun segments, full of a lot of cameos with a lot of stars from professional wrestling, maybe stepping out of their normal television wrestling comfort zone to take back that sophomoric sense of humor that Karl and I and Rocky, all three, definitely have, and kind of join in on our mad scientist ways and participate in Talk'n-Shop-A-Mania. So I can say this, whether you love it or you hate it, it's going to be like nothing you've ever seen before. Talk'n-Shop-A-Mania, #worst pay-per-view ever. Saturday, August 1st, 9 p.m., all American and Canadian pay-per-view outlets, as well as on iPay-per-view via the Fight app. So please, it's only $14.99. If you hate it too bad, you can't be that mad. Crack a beer, take off your pants, watch Talk'n-Shop-A-Mania.
Okay, hold it. Crack a beer and take off your pants. So we have to watch this pantsless?
Well, of course, any good listener of our podcast knows the best way to do it is in your underwear with a beer.
We do broadcasting in our underwear sometimes. Why not? I get that. Yeah. Talk'n-Shop-A-Mania. It is this Saturday, 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central. Get it on pay-per-view, iPay-per-view, and, of course, Fight TV. And, oh, by the way, thanks to our friends at Fight TV, we have a code that we're going to give away to a lucky listener that will get to experience Talk'n-Shop-A-Mania. I'm looking at the poster right now with you two and Rocky Romero, who's one of my favorites, along with Heath and Rhino and everybody from, Willie Mack and Chavo Guerrero to the Rock and Roll Express. I see Chico El Luchador. How much did Chico El Luchador rob you guys for to be on this pay-per-view?
Well, I mean, he clearly robbed us, but Chavo Guerrero, I feel like, wants to rob him of his own life. So you'll see that play out at Talk'n-Shop-A-Mania, too. We didn't know about the deep-seated luchador hatred between the El Luchador and Guerrero families, but you're going to see it play out this Saturday night at Talk'n-Shop-A-Mania.
I had the misfortune of running into Chico at a wrestling convention. He tried to ask me for sponsorships and was charging way too much. I mean, it's like, just come on, be real about this.
He runs a hard bargain.
Luke Gallows, Karl Anderson, the Good Brothers. I tell you what, I've had the fortune of meeting with several of your Bullet Club cohorts and everybody at Impact Wrestling. By the way, when are we going to see you two and the Gorillas of Destiny back together?
Ooh, Scott D'Amore, are you listening to this podcast? Scott D'Amore, Scott D'Amore.
That's right. Tama and Tonga were on Radio Row at Super Bowl in Miami with me. So, nice. And I mentioned it to them about, we need to see some of this more. So, we'll have to see if we can make this happen.
Hopefully, when the world opens back up, it'll be sooner rather than later. We can have them come and visit us at Impact Wrestling, and we definitely plan to make our way back to New Japan Pro Wrestling as well.
That sounds good. Luke Gallows, follow him on Twitter at @the_BigLG. Karl Anderson, follow him at Machine Gun KA. Making sure you catch Talk'n-Shop Podcast wherever your favorite podcast platform is, and get Talk'n-Shop-A-Mania this Saturday, 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central on Fight TV and, of course, your favorite pay-per-view provider. Guys, it is such a thrill to talk to you guys. I've always enjoyed your work, and I enjoyed it even now that we've gotten a chance to commingle here a little bit. All in all, please be safe, be well. All the best to you and yours, and I hope to talk to you again soon.
Absolutely, man. Thanks for having us. Good interview. Loved it.